Hey guys, it's Mr. Wigand. Today we are going to look at fitted lines, otherwise known as line of best fit. I'm using Khan Academy, and we're going to look at scatter plots that are already made and see if we can draw lines that are going to be good lines for a fitted line. Alright, so first off, here are my data points for the scatter plot. When I'm making a fitted line, I want to try to make my line follow the direction of the points, kind of go right through the middle of the points. Think of it as like an average of all these points. Maybe I hit some of the points, maybe a couple points are on one side of the line, a couple of points are on the other. Alright, so let me take this line and see if I can move it a little bit. Now some people might do something like this, and they'll say, well, I hit that point. I have 3 points above the line, 4 points below the line. That's pretty good. But if we look closely, this line really isn't following the direction of the points. They're going more like in this direction. So let's make it a little steeper. Let's move it up like that. Let's move this over here. Alright, now something like that. I have 2 points look like they're on the line. I have 2 points to the right of the line, 4 points to the left, and maybe I can move it over a little bit more. Maybe something like that. Now it looks like it's following more the direction of the points, and it's kind of going through the middle. Okay, let me check to see if this is a good fitted line, and it says correct. I also want to think about my fitted line in terms of correlation. This would be a negative correlation because the line is going down from left to right. So as the x is increasing, the y values are decreasing. All right, let's try another one. All right, now I have points on my scatter plot that are pretty spread out. If I'm going to try and draw a fitted line, I would have to figure out which points I'm going to draw this fitted line through. Am I going to try and come over here and draw it through these points and disregard those? Maybe they're outliers. Do I come in this direction and maybe try and get these points over here? And then these are kind of outliers. These two are really far away from that. Or do I say, well, they're so far spread out that the correlation is so low that a fitted line just isn't appropriate. So I'm going to say no line fits the data well, and check that. And that's correct. Yeah, that would not have been a good graph to draw a fitted line. We only want to draw fitted lines when it looks like there's a correlation, whether it be positive or negative. We want to see those points, grouped together a little bit more. All right, let's try another one. All right, once again, these points look a little spread out to me. Not only that, they're in the shape of a U. When I see points in the shape of a U, that tells me that this is going to be a very low correlation. A fitted line is not going to be accurate because I would either have to come over here and use the points here for a fitted line, or I would have to come over here and use the points to the right for a fitted line, but I would never be able to get all of them. So I'm going to go back to no line fits the data well. And that is correct. Once again, I'm looking at points that resemble an upside down U this time, or even a V maybe. And just like the last one, I'm going to say no line fits that data. That would not be a good fitted line. And that is correct. Alright, here goes another scatter plot. Also, while I'm doing this, let me just point out a couple things about Khan Academy. If you look up here, I've got 3 questions right in a row. I need to get 5 right in a row to be successful. If I was having trouble, I'd be able to look at hints. And if I was really stuck down here, there's videos for me to watch. So you have some help if you need it. But I think I'm okay with this one. This one looks like I'm going to draw a fitted line. I can definitely see that the points seem to be grouped together fairly well. Kind of want to go in the middle here. It's like I'm following the direction of the points pretty well. I got 2 points on the line, 2 above, 2 below. You know, you try and spread it out evenly on both sides, but, you know, it's not always going to work perfectly, but pretty evenly. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And that one's correct. Once again, correlation, this would be a negative correlation. It's going down from left to right. So as x is increasing, y is decreasing. That would be negative correlation. All right, one more. All right, these points look like they're all grouped together pretty well. And this is going to be a pretty steep fitted line, I can tell. Let's see, let's move that over a little bit. Something like that. Once again, let me go back. Somebody might say something like this. Well, here you go, Mr. Wigand. What's wrong with that fitted line? Looks like there's about half the points below, half the points above, but once again, this line is not following the direction of the points. The directions are clearly going something like this right here. So let's move that back up. Let's move that back down. Slide it over a little bit. We'll slide this over a little bit. And this is the great thing about doing it on Khan Academy or something where it's interactive as opposed to drawing it. You know, if I drew a fitted line, didn't like it, I'd have to erase it and start over again. Here, I'm just kind of making slight changes until I get it how I like it. Well, let's see. A couple points on the line, 3 to the left, 4 to the right. That looks pretty good to me. Let's check it out. They say it's correct, so that's a good one. Once again, correlation going up from left to right. So this is a positive correlation. So as x increases, y is increasing also. That's a positive correlation. Okay. All right, that's drawing fitted lines on scatter plots. Hope that helps you. Good luck.